The struggle is absolutely real if you want to reach 100,000 YouTube subscribers by a certain date, by a certain standard, when you want to get there, how you want to get there, how you want to improve, how you want to impress, and how you want to be the best. And Sean's Entertainment set an option. I set an obstacle. I set an objection, an alteration, an edit. Sean's Entertainment has been accused of buying and misleading and mistreating and deliberating and debating and masturbating and all these different things. But mark my words, know this, through all the determination, through all the uploads, through all the commentaries, through all the views, through all the options, through all the opinions, through all the different avenues you can take here on YouTube.com. And I'm not talking about cheating. I'm not talking about manipulation. I'm not talking about any of those underlining things. I am talking about me being me. I am talking about Sean's Entertainment being consistent, prolific, and dedicated. I am talking about being true to the viewers and the subscribers. I am talking about making YouTube my full-time job, getting that YouTube plaque, that play button. Because I'll tell you what, I'll lay down the bottom line. Why is it so important to me? Why do I want 100,000 subscribers so much? Well, because yes, I want to make this my job. Because I believe in myself. All right, although I might fail, I believe that I can get to 100,000 YouTube subscribers. But although I set a date of WrestleMania 32, I may have been way in over my head. I may have overprojected. And that's where I was wrong. But now the standard is at an all-time high. But Sean Entertainment has to realize you have to set realistic goals. My goals and my aspirations and my dreams and all that was way beyond anything I could have imagined. It was way beyond what I could think. But why it's so important to me, 100,000 subscribers, I'll work the same as I did with one subscriber at 100,000 YouTube subscribers. Because I think the perception, I think the feeling, I think the gist, I think the vibe is some people think that if I get to 100,000 subscribers that I won't be here as often, that I'll drop off the radar, that I won't give you as much content, that I won't give you as much uploads. No, I will work just as hard, just as long, and just as much as if I had one subscriber to 100,000 subscribers. But the difference here is if I have 100,000 subscribers, I can be recognized and realized by having that YouTube play button, that plaque, and I'll be making enough money so I don't have to go out in the real world and get a real job. Although YouTube is a real job, go look it up. People make real money, all right? And I'm not famous, I'm not rich, I'm not well known, but I know the viewers and subscribers that support me, that want me, that love me, that like to listen to me, that like to view me, that like to hear me, that like to do all those things to me. We are all working together. You know, I say me, I say we collaborate, I say we tag team, we combine, we combo up, all right? This is like going through the fast food restaurant. You usually don't end up getting one item. You'll get one or two items. You tag team the menu, just like you tag team if you have a girlfriend and boyfriend. You take out your money, you take out both the monies, and sometimes one person will pay or two people will pay. You tag team because in this economic territory and this day and age, sometimes one pay isn't enough. Sometimes you need this pay, sometimes you need that pay, sometimes you need to go in your piggy bank, sometimes you need to go in your wallets. Sometimes you have to go through a lot of different avenues. And here on Sean Entertainment, there are all kinds of avenues you can take. But once again, I'm not doing the cheating. I'm not doing the manipulation. I just want 100,000 subscribers to prove my worth, to prove what I can bring, to prove how strong the Sean's View revolution, the universe is. It can be impactful. It can be insightful. It can be, it can be problematic. It can be controversial. But the bottom line is I came on here last year and I tooted my own horn and I, said things that just, I ran a lot of, listen, we all know the backstory. I've already said this a couple of days ago. I've run storylines. I've run drama. It wasn't that I lied to 85,000 subscribers. And by that time, I only had 20,000 subscribers last year, or 30,000, 20 to 30,000 subscribers. Everyone knows, well, most people knew that I was running angles and storylines, and then I came out and said, all right, listen, You know how there's all these prank channels out and people come out and say, well, that didn't really happen. It was all a storyline. It was all made up. It was all fabricated. Well, I've since changed direction, and I don't run storylines. I don't run drama. I don't run BS. I don't run those conflicts. I run news, rumors, headlines in the world of WWE. I am provocative. I do something with my time. I'm trying to make something myself. I'm trying to advance my future and advance my YouTube channel. And I can't do it alone. And I never said I could do it alone. I mean, when I come on here and say Sean View is the only view that matters and I'm brash, it's just a line. It's just a figure of speech. It's just a way of life. It's just a thought process. It's just a gimmick. You know, you got to get a gimmick over here. If you watch wrestling and you do WWE, you got to amplify. You got to intensify. You know, you have to turn up the volume a little bit. And that's what I do here on Sean View Entertainment, is I turn up the volume just a little bit, just a tad. Because if I came on here and said, this is Sean View Entertainment, ladies and gentlemen, subscribe. No character, no advancement, no intelligence, no oomph. You got to put that kind of stuff into it. And that's what I try to put in my videos. I put my heart, my passion, my intensity, my love, my admiration. And of course, I'm always thinking about my viewers and subscribers in these videos, because you are the ones that you are the racehorse that brought me to the race. You are my dance partner. You are my other. You are a partner. You are the challenger. You are the competitor. You are compelling. You are intriguing. You are all these things to me, but most importantly, you are my subscribers who are a part of this journey and a part of the extended family of Sean View Entertainment. Because I don't just look at you as a fan, a viewer, a subscriber. You are a part of the extended family, the tree that is growing here on Sean View Entertainment. But 100,000 subscribers, I'll tell you what, this is how much 100,000 subscribers means to me. And if we get this by WrestleMania, it will be extraordinary. It will be epic. I know it may not happen. Once again, I came on here last year and I ate my words. I ate my words, and I'm a man to admit that I'm not right all the time. I'm only human. I'm not God. I'm not perfect. I've made my blunders. I've done my wrongdoings. I've had my lies. But the bottom line is, I've never killed anybody. I've never sexually harassed anybody. I've never been to jail. I don't have a record. I'm not a criminal. Okay. I'm none of those things. I'm not into the whole pornography with children and like the Subway guy did. I'm not into all that mumbo jumbo crap. I ain't got time for that, and I'm not into that. I don't care though. I don't care if you're gay or lesbian or high or bi. I'm straight. But whatever world you come from, whatever nationality you are, whatever origins or color or whatever language you speak or whatever barriers you're coming from, there is no barriers. We let you all in here on Sean View Entertainment. We let you all in as long as you don't cross a certain line as it concerns death threats. And you know the deal. You know the deal. You're not dumb. You're not stupid. My viewers and subscribers are very special. They're very intelligent. They're very strong. They have a lot of passion. And I have a lot of motivation and enthusiasm. And that's what this is going to get me through. But I know, in due time, we will reach 100,000 YouTube subscribers. It may not be at the time I want it to, but it's going to be at the time that you want it to. Because you run this ship. I can talk and rant and rave and view and upload as many times as I want. But if you're not sharing, if you're not viewing, if you're not expressing, if you're not commenting, if you're not liking, if you're not taking these videos, like I say, and that's why I always drive it in, share on Facebook and Twitter. Share on Twitter and Facebook. Because that's how this is going to manifest. This is how it's going to expand. This is how it's going to grow. And if you're a YouTuber, one of the things on here, and if you want to make this your job in your future, one of the things is you want to reach the goal of 100,000 subscribers. That's one of the first things you want to do, and that's one of the first things I want to do. That's like when you're working in a job. You don't want to just be the guy cleaning the toilets. You want to work your way up. You want to advance. You want to go further. You want to go better. You want to go bigger. You want to achieve. And that's what I want to do, is I want to achieve. Now, I'm already lucky enough. I understand. I'm very fortunate. I'm very lucky to have 100. I'm getting beyond myself again. I can't do that. I can't overestimate. I can't overdominate. I'm lucky enough to have 85,000 subscribers. I'm lucky enough as it is. I probably should have never had 85,000 in the first place. I'm very lucky to be in the right place at the right time, in the right predicament, with the right viewers and the right subscribers. And like I said, ladies and gentlemen, you run the ship. You run when I get 100,000 subscribers. Basically, it's up to you. I can put all the time and the effort and the commitment into this and show my emotion and my character, but it doesn't make a damn unless you give a damn, unless you care, unless you share, unless you comment, thrive, survive, and click. It's all up to you. You are the ones that make this. Subscribe.